Hola and welcome to this short video of our construction project in Esperanza, Dominican Republic. Our journey began with a valuable orientation meeting with Loa and Lois weeks before we left. After a flight from Toronto to Puerto Plata and a harrowing bus ride from Puerto Plata to Esperanza, we arrived to a wonderful Easter/welcoming service, and after a night's sleep, we were ready and anxious to get started on the project. The first task was to open the containers and start unloading things we would need right away. While part of the team started putting equipment together, others laid out the building site. The dirt pad had been completed before we got there, and they did a really good job of it. Once the building site was established, we started building forms for the concrete pad. Of course, every construction site needs a supervisor, and they just don't come any prettier than this one. We did have to do a little bit of leveling to the pad. As you can see, we put everyone to work. By the end of day one, the pad was ready for concrete. This is Dominican ready mix. Since we had subcontracted out the concrete work, we decided to construct a sidewalk and steps going down to the street. By the time we had completed the sidewalk and steps, they were ready to pour them. The next morning, the pad was firm enough that we could start erecting the wall panels. The panels had been put together in Canada, numbered, taken apart, loaded into the container, and shipped to Esperanza. So all we had to do was find the right numbers and put them together. Sounds easy, but it just didn't work out that way. The doors and windows, though, were cut out before they came, and that did make our job a lot easier. So the panels started in one corner and went around the four walls to the final panel. That final panel had to tie into the very first panel we put up, and we had to be close. In fact, we had to be pretty much dead on for that last panel to go all the way to the bottom. Will it or won't it?
Another hold up. Yay!
Hallelujah!
Yay! Muy bonita! Yay! All right, that's enough.
You can stand here all day.
Now get back to work. As you can see, we were really excited and thankful that last panel went in so easy. With the panels all up, they now had to be filled with concrete. So we brought in our concrete crew back in, and we loaded the concrete into pails and handed them up to the top. Lloyd had made some wooden forms for us to pour the concrete into, and they worked very, very well. Unfortunately, we did make a little bit of a mess on the walls, so a cleaning crew came in after us. Hey Ross, you missed a spot. There you go. Good job. After the walls were filled with concrete, the sill plates could go on. And once they were on, then the rafters could go up. The rafters went up quite quickly and sort of easily. Week 1 crew almost finished all the rafters, but not quite. So we said goodbye to them, and we said hello to the crew for week number 2. And after a welcoming service for them, they got right to work, finishing the rafters. With the rafters all up, the electricians could start on work on the interior. These are the hurricane clips that had to go on every rafter. Today was the day that Lowell had his accident, and after we got him sent off to the hospital, we spent some time in prayer, left him in God's hands, and we got back to work. With the roof on and strapped, we can now put the metal roofing on. And with the roof watertight, we could start the drop ceiling on the inside. Also, windows and doors could go in. As you can see, Lowell is back from the hospital. While crews worked on the inside, the soffit and fascia and siding was started. With the ceiling on and the lights and fans in, it's really starting to look like a church. The pews for this church were brought from the Welland Free Methodist Church, but they all had to be reworked in order to fit in our church. Since electricity in Esperanza is a bit of a premium, we did put in a battery backup system. On the last day around noon, the cleaning crew came in to fix up the inside and clean it for our first service on Saturday evening. While they did that, we did some finishing touches on the outside. And this was the last thing we put up, the sign for the church. Watch it, Lowell. Don't step off that asphalt. Watch it! Oh man, that was close. And that completed our project, and now we were ready to worship God in our new church.